So at this point, I'm fairly confident that a large majority of my followers have seen this amazing alley-oop from Lonzo Ball to Zion Williamson in the middle of practice. And in the event that you haven't, here it is. What's going on, guys? Your boy Theflightmike here, and today's video actually isn't on Zion Williamson. Today's video is on Lonzo Ball. Now, Lonzo has gone through a very difficult offseason. Without a doubt, it's definitely been one of the toughest off seasons of Lonzo's career. From being traded from the Los Angeles Lakers, which was his hometown team and his favorite team to root for as a kid, all the way to, of course, his father referring to him as damaged goods. It just hasn't been an easy offseason for Lonzo, but I without a doubt think that this could be one of the most constructive off seasons for Lonzo Ball. And the reason is because, for one, I've seen a lot of encouragement in terms of his body transformation, which I've covered in a previous video. I'll leave a link to that in the description down below. And just the way he's completely revamped his jump shot release. Now, I know it might be difficult to see how much his shot has changed, but it's crazy that he's even trying to make this effort, especially at an NBA level. It's very difficult to change your jump shot, guys. When you're a kid, it's a little bit easier than when you're an adult because the muscle memory is there, but like you're still a kid. But if you go from shooting a certain way for say 6 to 7 years, say at the age of 12 you're used to shooting a specific way, it'll be way easier to change that motion than if you're like 21 and you've been shooting a specific way for 13 years, of course, because the muscle memory has developed. Now, guys, very quickly before we get this video started, a lot of my subscribers are aware of this. I'm not sure if the people that are here from the recommendations are aware of this, but at the end of October, I'm going to be starting nursing school, and I've pretty much cut a deal with the school that I'm going to that if I hit 500,000 subscribers, they will let me defer a semester and continue making YouTube videos for at least another 3 to 4 months full time, where I could gauge the potential of my channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet and you do just watch my videos here and there, you might as well hit that subscribe button. It's getting recommended to you anyway. This way I could potentially be doing this as a full-time gig for a little bit longer. Now also, guys, I am doing a giveaway on my Instagram page as soon as we hit 10,000 followers to thank you guys for supporting me and helping me grow my channel. I'm giving away a pair of off-white Air Jordan 1s. But yeah, man, Lonzo Ball, I really appreciate the fact that this guy is taking time to work on his craft in such a way, especially after his father called him damaged goods and after a lot of scouts are calling LaMelo the potential #1 overall pick and better than Lonzo. It's good to see that he has taken his development seriously and not letting this trade to the Pelicans hold him back. And I've said this many times on previous videos, I do believe that this trade is the greatest thing that's ever happened to Lonzo. For a young player that needs the ball in his hands to make a difference, playing with LeBron James is an absolute nightmare. I don't care how much you look up to him, Lonzo, it is an absolute nightmare because you have to play off ball, and Lonzo had to play off ball with LeBron James despite not being that great of a shooter. Yeah, he showed flashes in the past, and I think the potential for him to be a good three-point shooter is definitely there, especially if he keeps putting in work on changing his shot release. But at the same time, Lonzo, we all could agree that Lonzo does his best work when the basketball's in his hands. He makes these captivating passes to set up his teammates, and he does things like this where he throws an alley-oop off the backboard to Zion Williamson. I think by going from LeBron James to Zion, Lonzo Ball goes from a perspective of being put next to an uber athletic player in LeBron James who always needs the ball in his hands and pretty much deferring to anything LeBron says because LeBron's older than him. LeBron has something like, what, 13 years on Lonzo, I believe, to being actually older than the uber athletic specimen that's next to you in Zion Williamson. And also, Zion doesn't need the ball in his hands to make a difference. Zion just wants to get the ball and go inside and do something crazy, like dunk it or just have a nice crazy finish. And I feel like the fact that Lonzo is now put in a situation where the ball could be in his hands and he has all these other players surrounding him that could score. JJ Redick will definitely come off screens and shoot the wide open three. Jrue Holiday has the uncanny ability to score with the ball in his hands and off the ball. Zion Williamson is an uber athletic finisher that is going to be cutting to the basket looking for Lonzo Ball alley-oops, and Brandon Ingram is an amazing scorer that does need the ball in his hands in order to score for the most part. His off the ball game still does need some tweaking around, but I feel like Lonzo is in a way better situation to succeed. And that's the primary thing. I feel like he could become an all-star during his time with New Orleans, although I don't think it's going to happen this season. I feel like if the Pelicans do make it to the playoffs and start making a push, there will be a light shown upon his defense as well. Of course, I've always said the one thing plaguing Lonzo Ball is his jump shot, and it's very similar to the football. If you guys watch football, Lonzo Ball reminds me a lot about Dak Prescott in the sense that Dak Prescott is a great quarterback in my opinion. I'm a Cowboy fan, so I might be a little biased here, but Dak Prescott in my opinion is a great quarterback because he has a fantastic football IQ. He never forces the pass into situations that he shouldn't. Usually when he gets intercepted, it's because the ball deflected on his receiver's hands and went into the hands of an opponent. Of course, there's a meme of him throwing the ball into like quadruple coverage during a Hail Mary, but we're not going to count that. But the one thing that's plaguing Dak Prescott is the ability to throw the deep ball. But the good thing is for Dak Prescott, it's that if he consistently gets on the practice field and just practices the deep ball, the muscle memory will form. The same applies to Lonzo Ball and his jumper. If Lonzo Ball, it doesn't matter how he shoots the ball, it really doesn't. It's nice that he's trying to change his release, but the reality remains the same. We've seen way uglier jump shots than Lonzo's. We've seen Sean Marion. We've seen Kevin Martin, who's one of the better three-point shooters in NBA history in the NBA. So long as Lonzo Ball continues to work on his ability to hit the deep ball to the point that he could hit it as often as, say, maybe John Wall, maybe a little bit more than John Wall would be able to hit the three ball, or say if he could get it to the point where Derrick Rose could hit, how often Derrick Rose could hit the three ball, Lonzo Ball would be either an all-star player or a fringe all-star player, because couple that with his basketball IQ, with the pieces surrounding him, with the fact that he's in a scheme that suits his talents, I feel like Lonzo Ball will be in a situation to succeed. We didn't touch upon the scheme yet, and to summarize it and make it short, Lonzo came from playing in Luke Walton's scheme, which is a derivative of the Golden State Warriors pace and space scheme. And guess who was also a Golden State Warriors assistant prior to Luke Walton taking the assistant coaching job with the Warriors? Yeah, Alvin Gentry, who's a huge fan of Mike D'Antoni's brand of basketball, huge fan of pace and space, and he hasn't had the pieces to really install the offense that he would like to install prior to this year. Now that he has players that could hit the three and he doesn't have to play through Anthony Davis anymore, we could possibly see one of the greatest New Orleans Pelicans teams we've ever seen of all time. I would like to finish off this video by reminding you guys who the Pelicans have acquired since losing Anthony Davis. Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, Zion Williamson, JJ Redick, and Derek Favors are all New Orleans Pelicans. New Orleans Pelicans. Is it New Orleans or New Orleans? All right, whatever. But you guys get what my point is. At the end of the day, I think the Pelicans, if they could get it all together quick enough, I believe that this team will push their way into the playoffs if they could figure it out quick enough. Bear in mind, they're still very young. Bear in mind that they still need playoff experience, but I think that's what Derek Favors and JJ Redick bring to the team. And I think combine that veteran leadership with this youth and the coaching experience that they have, and I feel like the Pelicans are going to have one of their best seasons in NBA history. Let me know what you guys think, man. And let me know if you think Lonzo is ready to take the next step. Aside from that, if you guys didn't know, I did make a Patreon account. I'm going to leave a link to that in the description down below so I can start shouting you guys out for supporting my channel. I'm your boy, Theflightmike, and I'm signing out.